What's up, everybody? Once again, my name is Matt, and welcome back to Let's Play Ocarina of Time 3D Master Quest. In the last episode, we got the mirror shield here in the Spirit Temple, and in this episode, well, you know what? I just decided we're gonna finish up the rest of the Spirit Temple in this video. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like we've spent one too many videos inside this temple, and there still is a lot to do, so this video probably will be a longer one, and generally speaking, I don't enjoy making, too long of videos, but I think I will make an exception this time around just because, man, I really just want to be done with this temple and blah, shadow monsters, yeah, I get it, Navi, I get it. Let's swap back to the Master Sword because there are two Stalfos that will spawn in this room, but first, oh, they already spawned. That's just great. I was gonna say, but first I want to get rid of the, Wall Master, I believe, is the ones that come down from the ceiling in this room because, yeah, obviously he's going to make this a lot harder than it needs to be. So let's get rid of him, and now we can focus on, like, the two Stalfos. Now, be careful not to accidentally activate those sun spots in the background since every time you activate one of those, another Wall Master will spawn. And, like, the whole goal of this room is to defeat all of the enemies, so we will need to activate them at some point, but I'd rather do that, like, after we get rid of the Stalfos. And ooh, I almost got close to, activating one of those, so let's try and fight outside of the light just to be a little bit safer. Come on already, will ya, dude? Just attack me so I can kill you. There we go. I probably could have gotten a second attack there. Oh, well, not a big deal. Holy crap, I took a lot of damage from that. I guess I was playing a little bit recklessly, though. Alright, now those guys are gone, let's go and start the tedious process of taking out all of these wall masters or floor masters, whatever one are the ones that come down from the ceiling. I always get it wrong no matter what I say. Like, it's basically a meme at this point because in every single Zelda game, I always get it wrong, from Ocarina of Time to Wind Waker, whatever, it doesn't matter. There's something, they're a floor master, they're a wall master, it doesn't really matter to me, but I know some people in the comments get really annoyed when I call it the wrong thing. Alright, so one more. Come on, get down. And goodbye, my weird severed hand friend. Alright, so that's going to unlock that. Great, and it's actually going to bring us to an area that's fairly close to the very beginning of this temple. And basically, that's where we're headed right now. Like, we do need to go all the way back to the beginning of the temple because there's still a puzzle there that we have yet to solve, believe it or not, after all this time. And it does involve those silver rupees. But, before we do that, because basically once we go past that, like, water plume, we're not going to be able to head back in here very easily, at least. So, yeah, first things first, let's head in here and, take out your hookshot, look on the ceiling, and grab this golden skulltula. That is the only thing that's important in this room. You can, like, jump down into the sand, fight a bunch of levers, and then a chest will spawn over there that contains 50 rupees. But, considering it's only 50 rupees and nothing important, I'm not gonna bother doing that. So instead, we'll just play the lullaby on this, like, random Triforce symbol. And, well, that's going to unlock the door, letting us just, like, leave this room whenever we want to. So see you later. Now I'm gonna try something. This is something I just thought of. Haven't really tested this out, but I think it should work. So let's grab Farore's Wind real quick and drop it down here. If this works, it should save us a lot of time later on. If it doesn't work, well, then I guess I'll just go about going through the temple normally. But I kind of think this should work. So I'm gonna place that there, collect the 2 silver rupees I can in this room, and then let's go and smack down this rusted switch. That way we can go back to the very beginning room of this temple. So there we go. And oh, that's a great camera angle, game. Good job. Now make sure you grab this rupee. There we go. Perfect. And the final 2 silver rupees that we need are on both the left and right side of, like, this room underneath these boulders. So there's one. And let's go and grab that last one real quick, because after we get all 5 of these, guess what? Another chest is going to appear. Hooray! And this one, if I'm not mistaken, contains a very important small key. Yeah, there we go. You know what, since we are back at the beginning of the dungeon, and speaking of small keys, there's that one small key we need to get as youngling. So you know what? I think this is probably the best time we're going to have to go back to the Temple of Time, become young Link, and go and get that key. So I'll see you guys in a second. Alright, so we're back here as young Link. Let's just head off to this right room, and we'll grab that small key real quick and be on our way. Yeah, it kind of stinks that, like, you have to leave the temple, travel back in time, come back to the temple, all just to grab this one small key. It really makes, like, this part of the temple feel a little bit disjointed, which I don't really like. But now that we got that, let's just go back to the Temple of Time, become an adult, and I'll see you guys once I'm back here in the Spirit Temple. Alright, so now that we're back in the Spirit Temple as an adult, and we did place Pharaoh's Wind over there, I believe it should still be active, so if we use this... Oh no, it doesn't work! Wow, I'm actually really surprised at that. I wonder why that actually didn't work. It must be because we traveled through time. That's the only reason I can think of, because I'm fairly certain, like, Pharaoh's Wind does still work when you leave a temple and go back in it. Like, it should still technically be there, I think. So it must be because we traveled back in time. Dang, that really stinks, too, because that totally, like, just means you can't skip any portion of, like, the backtracking through this temple at all. And I really thought that was going to work. I suppose I probably should have tested that beforehand. Not a huge deal, though, because I guess I can just go through this temple the way I was, you know, originally going to go through it. But, dang, that would have been really awesome if that had actually worked. Alright, so yeah, let's travel back down through here and make our way back to the room that I was trying to go to using Pharaoh's Wind, because there was a locked door over there, and now that we have two small keys, we can sort of go in that locked door and see what secrets it's hiding. It's kind of funny, because if I wasn't going for all the Skulltulas, I would not even need to go in here at all. But this area does have a pretty cool puzzle, I guess you could say. So let's start by smashing in this rusted switch. That's going to unlock that door. There's also a moblin in here, so real quick, let me grab my regular arrows, and we'll just take him out, because I really don't want him bothering us while we're here. And I suppose this does give me a second to sort of explain this puzzle. So that first gate that we unlocked, right? It's this little tiny alcove over here, and right on top of it was a small version of a time block. So obviously, that sort of signifies that this has something to do with the Song of Time. So if we come in here, take out our Ocarina and play the Song of Time, or hang on real quick, let me actually do that and play all the notes in the right order. There we go. If we come in here and play the Song of Time, it's sort of going to set off the next section of the puzzle, so to speak. So like now, it's going to open up another gate, and above that area is a box with a cow on top of it. So what does that make you think of? Lon Lon Ranch, aka Epona Song. So if we play Epona Song in here, it's going to continue the puzzle. It's actually really, really unique and kind of one of my favorite puzzles in the Master Quest version of this temple. Alright, so the next door that it opened up had the sun symbol above it. So of course, obviously, we're going to head in here and play the sun song. Now, sadly, this is sort of where, like, the cool section of this puzzle ends, because now, like, the remaining two areas that we need to walk inside, you can basically play, like, any song that doesn't have a secondary function. So I think if you play the teleportation songs, they don't work, and I'm pretty sure you can't play Saria song. So pretty much we can play the Song of Storms and Zelda's Lullaby. I think those will work. So here's Song of Storms, blah blah blah. That works just fine. And the last alcove we need to play a song in is this one. So I guess, yeah, we might as well try Zelda's Lullaby, because it's the classic, man. You know, Zelda's Lullaby, like the go-to song whenever you want to solve a puzzle you might not know the solution to. Alright, and just like that, the main gate opens, and now we can enter the next room. Yeah, we did all that just so we could enter this next room, and just so we could get ourselves a golden Skulltula. And hey, speaking of Skulltulas, there's a lot of them here, and oh my gosh, so many. I'm just going to use Din's Fire and burn the whole place to the ground. This is taking, like, arachnophobia to a whole new level, but man, does that feel good. And holy hearts galore, Batman. Man, if you ever want to restore your HP, come to this room. Jeez, that was nice. Alright, inside this chest we get ourselves 50 rupees for our trouble, I guess. Didn't really need that. But more importantly, it's that golden Skulltula. Now be very careful when you're exiting this room because, yeah, the moblin respawns on the opposite side of the room. So if you're not quick enough, he will actually sort of like lock you into getting hit by all 3 of his shockwaves. And obviously you don't want that. So now that that is done, let's get out of here and... You know what, yeah, let's go this way, back into the main section of the temple. I was thinking we could go through, like, the water plume again, but I think this might be a little bit faster. We want to make our way back up to that room with all the BMO in it, because, if you guys remember in the last video, there was a locked door up there, and we do have 1 small key remaining, so obviously, we can go through that locked door, and it'll basically take us to the rest of the temple. So we should be making progress now at this point, since we did all the backtracking and extra collection stuff. Now the rest of the temple is actually, you know, moving forward towards the boss. And that should be a lot of fun, because I don't know, I do like the boss of this temple, probably more than most people. I think it's a lot of fun, but anyways, before we can have any fun, we have to deal with one of the worst rooms in Master Quest. In normal Ocarina of Time, you could pretty much just like hookshot to the top of this room and be done with it. But they added 5 silver rupees that we need to collect in Master Quest, and that makes this room a pain, especially when you combine it with all the annoying keys and stuff like that. Like, this room just takes a lot longer than it should because there's a whole lot of waiting involved. And that's sort of like, I guess, a theme in the Spirit Temple, and why I really don't like the second half of it, because there is just so much waiting involved. So, you know what, we're gonna speed things up a bit here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Finally, that took freaking forever, guys. Like, honestly, this room combines a lot of what I hate about, like, video games, and that is waiting, wonky mechanics, and artificial difficulty. So, not gonna lie, that room kind of triggered me just a little bit, like pushed me to my limit of annoyance tolerance, but I'm glad that we are finally through there. So, yeah, random locked door in front of us. Obviously, we do not have a small key, so we can't go through there right now, but there is this Triforce symbol, so if we play Zelda's Lullaby, I didn't really show this off, but there was a pathway to our right, and there is another door over there that we can unlock by playing the Lullaby, so I guess that's really like our only option to go through. And we are pretty close to getting to the boss of this temple, but we need to find that small key because there are 2 Skulltulas behind that locked door that we need to get. Thankfully, that small key is pretty close by, and along the way, we should be able to solve the puzzle for this room as well. So, let's head through here, and oh man, we got another flame slug and some bubbles. Better watch out. You know, actually, I think this is the first time we've seen those bigger bubbles, because I know in normal Ocarina of Time, one of them is supposed to appear in the bottom of the well, but, I don't think there's one in the Master Quest version of the bottom of the well, which is kind of weird, because that thing actually did make the bottom of the well a little bit more annoying in, the original version of Ocarina of Time. Anyways, let's get rid of this Lizalfo real quick. Can you just die, please? Thank you very much. And, aw, man, I don't think I can get that heart. Anyways, Lens of Truth, because, yep, there's an invisible chest right over here, and this does contain the small key that we need. Now, before we go back and unlock that door, might as well finish off the puzzle that's in this room. So, let's come back over here and point this light at the sunspot right up there. And now, we have to do this kind of quickly, so first things first, let's move this mirror to point over towards the right. Actually, you know what, I probably should have done the right mirror first, because that one actually has the flame thing around it, but I should be fine here if I can actually, you know, pull the... Oh, you can't pull them for some reason. Okay, cool, let me try that again real quick. Alright, so let's push this one first this time, and then we'll go and deal with the other mirror, since this one does not have a ring of fire around it. Probably should have done this in the first place, but whatever, not that big of a deal. Alright, so now the light is pointing at that mirror, and that mirror is pointing it towards, like, the bigger room. Cool. So now everything is sort of in place for us, and we could easily finish off this puzzle, but before we do that, let's go back and unlock that door and get those 2 golden sculptulas, shall we? Real quick, actually, let me swap back to my big Goron sword, just because it'll make this room a little bit easier when it gets time to actually fight this Iron Knuckle. But what you want to do is, get the Iron Knuckle to come over to, like, these, I guess, thrones or whatever you want to call them, because the Skulltulas are actually behind these things, and as far as I know, there is no other way to destroy them other than have the Iron Knuckle do it. So, come on, buddy. You kind of got to put yourself in danger in order to get the Iron Knuckle to actually destroy all the things. That way you can reveal the Skulltulas. And again, like I said, there's really no point in getting golden Skulltulas past 50 because the reward for 100 is really not worth it. I just want to 100% complete the game, so that's why I'm doing this. Otherwise, though, this room is entirely pointless. And hey, he actually got both of them to appear. Alright, which means I am free to kill you, my friend. So long, Iron Knuckle. And this is why I wanted the Goron sword, just because it is so much faster to kill the Iron Knuckles with the Goron sword than with the regular old Master Sword. And, oh, come on, man, just let me get this hit on you. There we go. And now I will grab my Skulltulas. And yes, there's only 2 of them in this room. Do not worry about that, like, third patch of thrones or anything like that. There is nothing behind those whatsoever. So we are fine. Now that we got those 2 golden Skulltulas, I believe those were the last inside this temple. So now we are finally ready to go directly to the boss. Let me swap back to the Master Sword real quick. Point the light at that switch, and guess what? This is going to take us down back into that center room with the weird, like, statue lady or whatever. And yes, Navi, I know about the floor masters in this room. Whatever, not a big deal. Actually, I probably should take this guy out before I do anything else, huh? Just because I have a feeling he would be annoying otherwise. Alright, so now what you want to do, though, is point the light at the face of the statue, and it will crumble directly before you. And check it out. Right over there is the boss door. So, let's hookshot across and finish up this temple once and for all, shall we? It's taken us a while, guys, but we're almost done.
Ho ho ho, looks like someone is here, Kome. Hee hee hee, looks like it, Kotake. What an outrageous fellow he is to intrude so boldly into our temple, ho ho. We should teach this outrageous fellow a lesson, hee hee hee. Oh, loyal minion. Destroy this intruder on our behalf!
Forgetting something? There you go. Alright, so yeah, the boss of this temple is none other than an ordinary Iron Knuckle. I don't know why I brought back out the Master Sword, because the Goron Sword is, like, way better to use for this fight, so yeah, it's just an Iron Knuckle. There's really nothing too special about it. Like, I believe the armor is a different color, but, that's really all there is to it. Also, for this Iron Knuckle, there is no second phase, so that's it! And wait a minute, it's Naburu! Where am I?
Well, well, looks like she's back to normal, Kome. She's just a little girl, but she commands a lot of respect among the Gerudo, Kotake. Maybe we should make her work for the Great Ganondorf for a little while longer, ho ho ho. Then we should brainwash her again, hee hee hee.
You fiends! How could you do that to poor Nibiru? Oh well, so yeah, obviously that was not the actual boss of this temple. That would be way too easy. No, no, no. The real boss is directly ahead. So, you know what? I am going to keep out the big Goron sword for this fight, even though it's probably not recommended. But we should be fine as long as I remember to put it away, because we do need to use our shield a lot in this fight. Anyways, here we go.
Look at that stupid kid. He came on his own to offer himself as a sacrifice to the great Ganondorf. With my flame, I will burn him to the bone. With my frost, I will freeze him to his soul.
Alright, so these are the Sorcerer Sisters, Twinrova. Now, for this first phase, we don't even need to directly attack them. Like the owl said, we need to use the mirror shield to reflect their own magic against them. So really, the hardest part in this first phase is just keeping both of them in frame. So when you're getting attacked by ice, just reflect it back at the fire, because obviously the opposites will do damage to each other. You will have it though where sometimes like one of the sisters will attack you and the other sister will be like on the opposite side of the room or just somewhere else off screen, so you won't be able to actually hit them. But that's just sort of what you get with this fight. There is sort of that random element to it. But yeah, a lot of this fight is waiting around, which to be honest I don't really like, but overall I do like the fight in general because I think it's a lot of fun. And oh man, yeah, this is one of those situations where they are just nowhere near each other, so I don't think I'm really going to get a whole lot done here, unfortunately. Alright, come on, just stay next to each other. There we go. No, don't fly away. Come back, please. I need you. Well, I just need you to run into that. Come on. No, you stink, man. You actually stink. Oh, hey, fire magic this time. Although, the Ice Sister is nowhere near here. Oh, that actually worked. Thank you for flying right into that. I really do appreciate it. We should only need to do this like a couple more times. At least I hope so. Because the actual fight is way more interesting than this. There we go. Perfect. Is that it? No? Oh, yes it is. Hey!
Okay, let's get serious now, Kotake. Oh, okay, Kome. Kotake and Kome's double dynamite attack!
So yes, they combine into one weird-looking sorceress lady who's winking at us, and I really don't appreciate it, but now the fight is a lot more interesting. There still is a lot of waiting, but now what you want to do is just Z-target the sorceress, I guess, and wait for her to charge up her magic. What you want to do is get 3 charges in total of the same type of magic. If you get like a different type of magic, it'll cancel out like all of your charges. Once you get 3 though, as long as you're targeted onto her still, it will automatically attack, and then you can just go in with your big Goron sword and deal some damage. So, yeah, not too bad at all. Oh, you know what, I actually do need to put away my sword real quick because I need to actually use my shield. Yeah, the one time where using your shield is actually required, and I almost didn't do it. Alright, there we go. I guess we're gonna charge up with ice magic. Since I missed that first one, though, I probably will to dodge some fire magic just because that's sort of how this fight works. There's a very high chance she will use fire this turn, which, yeah, there we go. Alright, so let's avoid this, and she's probably going to use it like 3 times in a row now, which stinks. But, yeah, whatever. That's sort of what I get for messing up that first attack. At least their magic attacks are pretty easy to avoid. Just like jump to the left or the right at least once and then jump backwards a couple of times and you should be fine. As long as you keep targeting her, that is. Alright, give me an ice attack. There we go. Perfect. And if I do this right, this should be the last time that we need to do that. Ta-da! Fight over. So long, Twinrova. Not bad, guys. Not bad at all.
Shoot, what a fresh kid. This time we'll get serious, right, Kotake? What? Hey, Komi, what is that above your head? I don't know, but you have one over your head too, Kotake. But I'm only 400 years old! And I'm just 380 years old. We're twins, don't try to lie about your age. You must have gone senile. Who are you calling senile? How do you treat your older sister? We are twins, how could you be older?
Blah, blah, blah. You're heartless. You're ungrateful. Who actually cares? Stop bickering and die already, will you? Thank you.
Welcome back to haunt you!
And with that, we are done with the Spirit Temple. Ah, geez, finally. Let's grab our 20th and final heart container. And now, let's get the heck out of here and rescue that last sage. Kid, let me thank you. Look what a little kid has become in the past 7 years, a competent swordsman. By the way, I really messed up. I was brainwashed by those old witches and used by Ganondorf to do his evil will. But isn't it funny that a person like me could turn out to be the Sage of Spirit? And now I'm going to fight them as one of the 6 sages. I'm going to pay them back for what they did to me. Kid? No, Link, the hero of time. Instead of keeping the promise I made back then, I give you this medallion. Take it. Hooray! It's an orange biscuit or something. I don't really know. Anyways, I'm running out of jokes for this. But with that, we got ourselves the Spirit Medallion. Nibiru awakens as a sage and adds her power to ours. Yay! If only I'd known you would become such a handsome man. I should have kept the promise I made back then. Oh my. Link, the hero. Finally, all of us, the 6 sages, have been awakened. The time for the final showdown with the King of Evil has come. Before that, though, you should meet the one who is waiting for you. The one who is waiting for you at the Temple of Time. Well, gee willikers, I wonder who that is. I guess we'll have to find out in the next episode. So if you guys enjoyed this part, a like rating would be greatly appreciated. If you want to see more of my videos, consider subscribing. But once again, guys, my name is Matt. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.